Hello and welcome to my channel. Well, as I told you, I got another phone. We'll get to this in a second. But I had another senior moment where I was in here getting ready to do the video and I couldn't find the phone. Well, fortunately with another phone, you can call the phone to find out where your phone's at. And it was sitting right beside me and I had this sitting on top of it. And so my mind was looking for a phone, and all I was seeing was, yeah, that's a knife box. Anyway, what we're going to do today is we're going to look at the Cold Steel Pendleton Lite Hunter. Now they make a regular Pendleton Hunter, not the Lite. This is the more budget version of it. It's a pretty good blade. You know, I mean, don't let the budgetness of it, whatever, mess with you. All right, so we have a blade length of 3 5/8 inches, overall 8.5 inches. The steel is 4116 stainless, which is perfectly fine with me. Weight 2.7 ounces. It is light. Blade thickness 3 millimeters. Handle 4.78 inches, and it's polypropylene. I was wondering what that handle was. And this is one I showed you before where the retention is fairly tight on this one. I knocked something over. More than one something. I was trying to blow the dust off the camera. Alright, so right off the bat, the handle doesn't feel bad. It's, you know, it's not like a texture like craton or rubber or anything, but it does have some texture to it, and it feels like a polypropylene handle. I took a magnet and I ran it down here, and you've got like a 3/4 tang. What does it say the spine thickness is? Or does it 3 millimeters? So 3 millimeters right here. It's a nice flat grind. I got some gunk on it because I've been carving fat wood and stuff. I like these little finger grooves. This is also what's part of the retention. You know, it goes down here, and there's probably little bumps on either side that I could file down to make it come in and out. Or you can take heat, you know, and make this thing more pliable and stuff, but I'm just going to let it wear in. I don't worry about it. It does have a little lanyard hole. You wouldn't have to worry about this one snagging on brush if you had a lanyard on it and you not knowing it, because man, that takes a lot of, I guess if you're falling, I don't know. Anyway, like I said, these indents right here, I get ideas on knife handles and knives. You find out what you like. You know, what do you like? Do you like finger grooves? Well, only if they, you know, match your fingers, you know, because a lot of them are universal, made for every hand type. And we know people have different hand types and sizes. There's a nice little rest right up here for your finger for up close work. There's no jimping on the top, but I actually prefer not to have jimping. If you're working with a knife a lot and pushing down, a flat surface is going to distribute it more than, you know, ridges and points. Yeah, jimping is good if you're to keep your thumb from sliding forward if you're stabbing, but you know, you can keep your hand back here if you want to stab, and you're going to have a lot less chance, you know, of it sliding up. But anyway, there are pros and cons of everything. This one does pretty good. It's not a Scandi grind. Like I said, I'm used to a Scandi grind, but once you know what you're doing with a regular, you know, knife, and where it's basically where's the bevel, you know, and with the Scandi, this is the bevel. With a flat grind, you've got that, and then another bevel down here. This is really what you're cutting with, is this bevel. See if it zooms up. See, that's what you're really cutting with, is that bevel. This just makes it easier to slide through material. Now, you're not going to see me batoning with this one. You know, I may throw it in the ground. It's, you know, play mumbly peg with it, you know. But it does pretty good, man. It digs into the, you know, fat wood with no problem. I've never received a cold steel that wasn't sharp, and this one's no exception. I mean, they always come really... Cold steel does a very good job with their edges. You know, other knife companies could take a lesson from that. I understand, you know, like Gizmo was telling me, sometimes the reason why they leave a burr on a knife is for collectors. You know that it's a factory edge. You get it, you know, and it's not sharp, then you know it hadn't been used. That's where knife companies or whatever, if they're really doing it for that reason, are getting a little crazy, you know. You should build knives for users, and collecting should be like a secondary thing, you know. Like GEC, they're getting so high in demand and everything that some people don't use them. You know, a lot of people won't even, you know, cut anything with them, which is kind of like somebody spent all this time to make like the perfect knife, and you're just gonna look at it. Well, you know, do what you want with your own money. All right, so here's cardboard. Like I said, we're gonna do a little hobo test. Now these, I would say this guy isn't gonna penetrate all the way through too, but I'm gonna get back here. Yeah. Let's try advanced hobo armor. See, I brought all my tools in with me. Advanced hobo. Oh man, it did much better on advanced hobo because oh yeah, it's doing good. That's pretty good. I think it's because you get resistance. You know, you have the resistance, the stiffness and everything. And with cardboard, this is also single wall cardboard, I believe. Yeah. Single wall. When you double up like this, you're getting like double wall cardboard, and it's a lot thicker. You know, you're getting up to like a ½ inch of thickness. And with this, it's just cardboard tube, you know, that's been rolled like a paper towel or toilet paper, and they just put that silver lining in there, I guess, to help with, you know, prevent moisture. But you can see it's just a cardboard tube, and it's not particularly thick, but it's more resistant. It's thicker than just, you can't just like regular cardboard, you can squeeze it, you know. This stuff, you can squeeze all you want, you're not going to go through it. Anyway, it looks like it'd be a good one to just mess around with. You could probably baton on it, but just be aware, you know, your tang only goes back here. And that's another thing I'd like to bring up. I understand when people test knives and stuff, you know, that they want to see how strong it is, that they'll baton with it. But my entire life, I never saw somebody beat on a knife like that until YouTube. I mean, I went to all kinds of camping stuff, you know, and whenever we needed kindling, we didn't have to split it. You put it in the fire, you know. I mean, you get down to a certain size, it just never occurred to... I don't deny the usefulness of batoning and stuff, but I just don't think it's like the ultimate test of a knife, you know. Just like throwing a knife. There are knives made for throwing, but if you get one that's not made for throwing, you know, that's got pins on it and handles and all this other stuff. I know as a kid, I ruined a bayonet doing that. A German bayonet. It was probably worth a lot of money. My grandfather had brought it back from World War I. Anyways, I was doing this crap, you know, throwing it, and you see it a lot of times on YouTube, other than the ones that are really good at it. There's a lot of good editing going on where you don't see the person throwing the knife, and then when you do see him throwing the knife, it's always sticking, and then there's a cut, and the next time he throws, it sticks again, and there's a cut, and it sticks again. A lot of times, especially when you're learning, you're gonna miss, and the knife's gonna hit, with the flat of it or the tail end of it, and if that knife wasn't made for that, you're subjecting it to a lot of stress and abuse, and you are basically abusing the knife. Now, if it's like a bushcrafter knife, and it's supposed to do all that, all right, fine, but if I'm down to one knife, I'm not going to be beating on the hell on it, I mean, yeah, that's kind of a flippant answer sometimes, say, well, that's what a hatchet's made for, or that's what a tomahawk is made for, but I think what people are trying to get a survival knife to do is to be so sturdy that you can do anything with it. Crowbar, you stick it in the side of a tree, and you climb up on it, you fry your eggs on the side of it. Somehow that doesn't affect heat treatment. And, all kinds of stuff. It just does everything. It's the magical one knife that does everything. Well, like I said, master of all, master of all, jack of all trades, master of none. I keep missing. I'm supposed to say it the other way around, but I think it's like telling a punchline of a joke before it's at the very beginning. Anyway, so yeah, I just use knives within their limitation. Sometimes I do abuse knives. I can understand reviewers that are doing that because they know, yeah, it says don't throw a knife. People can throw a knife, whether it tells them to or not, and it'd be nice to know how it stands up to that. The same thing with like tip tests when you throw it down. You could actually be doing something like, stabbing and twisting with a knife, and it should be able to take that, without bending. And this guy's thick enough, that it's 3 millimeters at the spine. It don't taper down a whole lot at the tip, so you're not going to get a real dainty, fragile tip here. Let's go to millimeters first, because everybody wants to know what a millimeter is. A silly meter. Check at the tip here. Yeah, it narrows down about half. It's like 1.65 at the tip. Sorry, I'm just trying to get as close to the tip as I can. That's right up there to the edge, almost to the edge grind up there. So, yeah, it narrows down, but it's still thick enough that you could do crazy stuff. Like that. And I'll do more crazy stuff, I'll throw it in the ground or something later on. I mean, I get it on video. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. These are good knives if you know what you're getting, and you're getting pretty good steel. It's going to be sharp. It's got a good edge on it. It's a good length. You know how I feel about Kydex and everything, but you can make yourself a leather sheath or get one made with no problem. And that was my only criticism about this. The knife handle, although it's long enough, because of the way this belt loop, I don't know, they want to do deep carry or whatever, but your hand, you're not able to really get your whole hand on it. You got to use like a pinch grip to get it out, And other ones are not like that. You can just grab around the hilt and pull. This one you can kind of do that, but you're really, you're really scrunched up. You've only got like that much to grab. They're minor criticisms, like I said, just minor stuff. I just want to let you know what's going on. It's got a little drain hole in the bottom. And yeah, I like it. There's enough contouring, they're thinking about stuff. You got a little swell in the middle, but then it tapers down, then it swells back out. So it kind of helps prevent, just like this little kind of hawkbill type thing going on. Helps prevent if you're doing any, you're not going to be doing a lot of this. I mean, we could. I can sit here, choppy chop, 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 chop. It does a pretty good job doing this little choppy chop. Get a hatchet. No, a hatchet would be too big for this. You're abusing your knife. Yes, I am abusing it. This is not really abusing, you know. I mean, if a knife can't take this, you probably shouldn't strap it on your hip and take it out into the woods, because, I mean, this is just like, you know, like beaver bites, taking little nibbles and stuff. Yes, delicious. See, I'm making a mess again. Anyways, no edge rolling. Ooh, I've got a macro lens on this, but I got to get it really close for it, and I have to switch over. So let me just take a photograph macro lens of where I've been hitting about here. We'll just zoom in on where the fat wood was at and see if we got any edge rolling, or I don't expect it. You never know. That macro would be better. If I had the knife still, because I had to zoom in. But let's try a digital zoom. See what this guy does. Oh wow, it's just as good or better than the macro, I think. This is like 9x zoom. Get the edge up here. Oh, this is just fat wood. But you can see there's no rolling. There's no chipping. There is some blood on the blade, though. It's still sharp as crap. Alright, so my overall impressions with this thing is it's nice, it's light, it'd be good for food prep and stuff. I should have brought potato in here and carved it up. It'll do alright for whittling, you know, carving. Cutting up your taters, putting butter on your bread, or spreading peanut butter on there. Carving up, skinning an animal, because it's got enough of a curve. You could do that without, this is blunt up here. It's still got a pretty pointy tip, though. You could do some hobo armor stabbing if you're ever attacked by hobos while camping or wherever. Yeah, I like it. It's very useful size, and it does everything I'd expect out of it. So, yeah, pretty cool. Now, I know cold steel, you know, a lot of people might look at it and go, they're always like tactical or whatever. But if you can overlook that and just say, all right, you're probably just going to get a black knife and a black sheath, you know, and this one's not overly super, you know, you wouldn't scare people at a campsite, I guess, if you're worried about that. If you're worried about what the sheep will feel, you know, you don't want to whip out a big Bowie knife or something with a bunch of aggressive sawtooth back, because, you know, somebody might get traumatized. Well, that's why I go camping, is to get away from people and their poor little feelings and everything like that. You know, you don't have to worry about that when you're alone and out in the woods, and, you know, I don't want to go, that's scary looking. No, there's nobody to say that except for you or me. In my case, I'm never alone. There's always somebody with me in my head. So, that's my evaluation of this one. I know I dragged it on towards the end, but I find no flaws with this knife. I've been carrying it for a while. Toby and family sent this one a while back. And thank you, Toby and family. I just haven't had a chance to drop a video on it. But now that I can upload faster, today is the day. And this guy did bite me once. A little bit, not anything massive. No massive blood lot. I won't bloss. I won't need any transfusions. A positive. I'm A positive if they ever ask, what's this blood type? A. I'm positive about it. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.